The latest issue of Age of Republic was all about Anakin Skywalker, once again written by Jody. It feels like the story took place early on in the Clone Wars, with the Jedi still finding their proper place, and Anakin getting to know Admiral Yularen. It felt like a nice companion piece to a couple Clone Wars episodes, but Cat and Mouse came to mind, the earliest chronological episode that shows Yularen still gaining an understanding of the young Jedi Knight. The main plot centers on the discovery of a droid factory on the neutral world Kudo 3. Republic intelligence suggests the Kudons have sided with the Separatists, and a strategy is put together that would see the swift destruction of the factory along with any droids and workers inside. Anakin hates the idea of attacking sentient life, even if they are the enemy, and he butts heads with Yularen, who is more concerned with minimizing clone casualties. Skywalker takes it upon himself to scout the droid factory and learns that the Kudons are slaves, forced to build droids. He obviously takes issue with that, liberates them, and together they take down the factory. Had Yularen simply destroyed it, the Separatists would have used the deaths of the innocent workers as anti-Republic propaganda. So the Admiral admits Anakin's instincts were correct, and they begin to see things eye to eye. Maybe it's because we're in the middle of a rewatch, but I got strong Clone Wars vibes from this issue. I already mentioned Cat and Mouse, but Anakin's characterization from Shadow of Malevolence also came to mind. At the end of that episode, Anakin reflects on the clone lives that were lost under his command. That idea is carried further when we see his concern for enemy life as well. As far as he's concerned, the Jedi have taken part in the Clone Wars specifically for the purpose of saving lives on both sides. I loved reading that directly from Anakin. The Age of Republic series has been challenging the Jedi and their role in the war, really exploring their motivations, not just from the Order's point of view, but from individuals as well. In that same Clone Wars episode, Shadow of Malevolence, a Kaminoan notes how unique Anakin is for a Jedi simply because he cares about the clones he leads. He is emotional, and he often lets his emotions guide his actions. In the comic, Yularen also describes Anakin's tactics as being driven by emotion. I think that's a byproduct of him being brought into the Order so late, but are we to believe that that's good or bad? I think it's both. To keep talking about another recurring theme in the Age of Republic comics, I think it's about balance. In the case of this issue, and countless times in the Clone Wars, Anakin's emotion-driven actions have saved lives. But, of course, his emotion-driven actions in Revenge of the Sith proved to be his downfall. There's a touch of that on Kudo 3, where Anakin sees the slaves and rages out on the enemy. Fortunately, they were just droids this time, but would he have acted the same if the slavers were Zygerian or something? I think he probably would have, which goes against his earlier argument that even enemy life is worth saving, but we've seen him get this tunnel vision before with the Tusken Raiders. As with most things in life, the extremes are where you run into trouble. The Jedi attempt to disregard all emotion. The Sith give in to their emotions completely. Neither point of view is really healthy, if you ask me. You need to find that middle ground where you're able to recognize, accept, and deal with your emotions without letting them control your life. And Anakin has only ever been taught to do one or the other through his mentors in the Jedi Order or Palpatine. This is one of those stories that makes me wonder how his training could have fared under Qui-Gon, someone with a more open point of view. But those are all my thoughts on the latest Age of Republic issue. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.